GYMDAD Fitness. Today we have a review on Possessed Monkey by So Six Sups, and this is a brand. Just watching their Instagram marketing videos and things like that. Some collegiate young gentlemen came up with this one. And I was waking up from my hangovers when these guys were out freaking making pre-workouts in college. This is the Possessed Monkey. This is a pre-workout from, based upon what I've seen, is it was designed by a group of couple college men in their spare time back in the day. And so we, for the bathtub pre-workouts, now we got dorm room pre-workouts going on here. So I'm excited to try this one. I love finding me rare daily drivers. And this one's been on the market. I've seen a few bigger name places pop up with it, but it is a hard-hitting daily driver. So we don't have Alpha Yo. We don't have any of those, the 2 aminos, the 1,3s, things like that. So everything on here is going to be fully compliant. And let me get the scooper out. And this is a cherry vanilla flavor. And we have a 1 scoop, 2 scoop thing going on here. 2 scoops comes at 25.34 grams. So we'll get into the label breakdown, but this is a whopping grammage type pre-workout here. And it's a short list of ingredients too, which I kind of love. Let's just go ahead and get good quality ingredients that work at large dosages and not try to throw the kitchen sink at it. Okay, let's get the 2 scoops. Just got my Minnie Mouse cup here. I disturb him, so I have to sometimes utilize what I got on hand. And this one came in at 2 level, almost looks like 28 grams, so a little hefty on the scoopage. Oh, that's very, very good. The only other cherry vanilla that I can compare it to is Pillager, but obviously Pillager by Toxic Masculinity, that beauty up there, had a lot more stimulants to cover in it. This one's got, we'll get into the label, but I keep mentioning it, so I mean, it's no big secret. You can pull it up. This one's just got caffeine and lion's mane, and as far in lion's mane, it's just more as a nootropic. To be honest, I don't know why I even read that. So just caffeine we're working with here, but like freaking amazing. Like they nailed it on the flavoring. Should have known that the collegiate fellas would come in clutch with the flavors. Yeah, it is something you'd drink on the beach or something like that. But freaking awesome. They killed it. A little hefty on the grammage. Let me I always do this. Let me put it on the cap for you. I always put it straight in my water bottle, especially with these smash AMFs, things like that. I'm out here with like, sprinkling it in there really slowly. But ones like this, I usually just grip it and rip it. But I'm gonna go ahead and do 2 flat levels just to get you the real accurate breakdown here. 27.49 that time. So I think I got 28 when I dumped it in the cup. So it's going to be a little over on the grammage, but overall, not far off. And for the stimulants in it, we'll go and roll with that. But let's get into the label breakdown and effects. All right, now we've broken down the weigh-in, the taste test. I'm gonna go and finish it off and break down the label here. Usually I do the label breakdown right before I do the effects, and I've already ran it, but today we're gonna mix it up a little bit. Take one more sip there. So today we're going to go over the label breakdown. I find myself when I'm breaking down the label, I get too excited to tell you guys about the effects. So we're going to start doing this so I can kind of like really lock in and allow me to mentally zone in on only the effects when I get to that portion. And like I said, in the flavor taste test, this thing is freaking delicious. Like it is one of those ones you wanted to sip it slow. But they have 25.34 grams. So we right off the bat, we know it's going to be just a absolutely loaded pre, because that's a lot of grammage going on there. And but that's not always, can't just go off the gram. Sometimes that can be kind of distorted if they throw like creatine, or like if they throw like a carb complex in there or something like that. So it's not always, sometimes it's not always quantity is always best for pre-workouts. Because I remember when I first got into the pre-workout game, I was like, oh, pre-gym and cage muscle are the best. Those are big scoops. Therefore, big scoops, big time good pre-workouts. So like I started searching like pre-workouts that had like large grammage, and I think I took like Shock Therapy by I don't think it's around anymore, by Universal, and it was terrible. It was like 7-8 grams of creatine mono, a bunch of flavorings, and then like it was 200, 300 caffeine, and then like a little, like a touch of citrulline. It's practically just a scoop of creatine mono, and there might even been some complex in that. But this one, it's not the case here. We got a whopping 8 grams of citrulline. It's the pure citrulline, and then biotin, kind of an all-rounder. It's going to help with hydration pumps. Just you can't miss product there at 5 whopping grams there. Then we have beta alanine at 5 grams, not 3.2. They got a whole 5 grams there, and I've already starting to feel the tingles come in a little bit. So I'll get to that more in the effects. But man, it's a good source because it's been about 10 minutes since I did the weigh-in, and I'm feeling it. Agmatine sulfate is going to help with pumps at a whopping gram there. So for the pumps, we got some citrulline and agmatine. So pretty there. It's just 2 ingredients, but 2 very well dosed ingredients. And then we got that biotin and beta alanine for some performance. And then we kind of get into the nootropic, mental clarity, mood uplift, raw energy complex here with the caffeine anhydrous at 350 milligrams, which is a nice little spot there. And then we got lion's mane at 300 milligrams, good solid dosage of that. And L-theanine, I don't know what to think about L-theanine in a product so that it doesn't have alpha yo, it doesn't have like UHEMIN HCl, anything like really scary. But you can't knock it for having it in there. But that might be a turnoff for some people because this is daily driver day with no alpha yo, no 2-amino. So it's like they might want it to hit a little bit harder and don't want that chance that it's gets tampered down by theanine because that's supposed to calm down the anxiety effects of the caffeine. It also can deaden some of the sense of urgency, and then piperine extract to help with digestion. So to break this label down, they kind of give us like just mass doses of like 2 items each. And so you got your citrulline, like I mentioned, your agmatine for the pumps, then that whopping dosages, and you got your beta alanine, your betaine, and your tyrosine, kind of all arounders there to help with performance, whopping dosages, and then you got caffeine, lion's mane, little nootropic add for the lion's mane, and then energy complex, just freaking whopping dosages. And then you got your theanine to kind of bring it all together, and digestive enzymes to help this whole concoction come together. So awesome label. Love the simplicity, and let's I love the theory behind. Let's just give whopping dosages of things we know that work instead of throwing 45 things on a label just to make it look aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Like, oh my god, I'm getting all this stuff in my pre-workout. So I think I'm a big believer in less is more, and sometimes the simpler the labels, the better the outcome if the ingredients are dosed right and sourced properly. But let's get into the effects now. GYMDAD Fitness and Joe Pug Fitness. Now it's time to get into the effects of the possessed monkey. And before we get going here, we got to do the pug test. Especially because we know freaking possessed monkeys and pugs do not get along. Pugs want to sleep, possessed monkeys want to fuck around. So we have to do the smelt pug test here. This is the cherry vanilla. Oh, that is potent. He came back for a second sniff too. Oh yeah, great success on the pug test there. Good job, Joseph. All right, so also pick this one up at SupLocker if you're interested. I talked with the owner at SupLocker just about this pre and trying to get a background. And just to correct myself, apparently the owners, creators of this product are still in college as well. So I think I mentioned in the weigh-in that they made the pre in college, and that's where it started. But I think I might have said they were that no longer in, but currently in college. So this truly is a dorm room pre-workout we got going on here, and I'm sure it's manufactured in some facility out there, but it's I'm sure that they have it sent somewhere for manufacturing, and then comes back, and then they distribute it there. So I just kind of their logistics hub is there, but I just can't imagine. I was too busy worrying about what fucking 30 rack I was picking up that weekend, let alone like 200 pre-workouts on a pallet are coming in at my dorm room hall. And I'm just like, my curiosity is thinking like, how does this work with the RA and stuff like that, and like the loading and pickup and school and things. But all in all, you gotta applaud these dudes. These guys are grinding, man. Yeah, all of us other people are out nursing our hangovers, while these guys are already up getting their workouts in and selling pre. But possessed monkey, let's get into the experience, how I would kind of rate this one and who this one's for, and how it stacks against other pre's in this category. So the possessed monkey, we went over the label breakdown already. This one comes in like you would expect for just a standard caffeine. If you can picture yourself shotgunning a Bang Energy or a C4 or any of those carbonated drinks, Alani's, I'm trying to think. Celsius is the ones we always have. My wife always likes, but not that it's the same effects, like the same stimulant effects, but the way it comes in, like the timetable of when it hits, it's going to be within that 15 to 25-minute range, depending on like your other factors, your body size, your hydration, your food intake throughout the day, those other nutritional factors that affects, and then overall how you metabolize caffeine. We all metabolize caffeine at different rates, so that affects it too. But for me, it was 15 to 25 minutes. It's kind of like when it started to ramp up, and it's good. It's a smooth hit. It's not jittery. It does have the L-theanine in there at 200 milligrams. And just to show you guys comparison, that's the first one that popped in my head that had L-theanine is Wildfire by SoCal, I believe, and this one had 350. So 200 is not as much as I was thinking, and I was a little bummed by the L-theanine at first because L-theanine for me, I kind of feel like when I'm using a daily driver, I don't have these other crazy stims in there, these other nootropics. They do have some lion's mane in there for some nootropic factors, but I kind of want like all hands on deck. I don't want any of the stimulant members to be numbed, and so L-theanine has a ability to ease off some of those stims, also decreasing some anxiety that comes with those stimulants. You see L-theanine used a lot in the energy drinks as well, but I see where they're targeting though, because these guys are college kids, and they their stim levels they're still adjusting. This would have been, I would have loved it at that point in time in my life when I was taking pre-workouts for the first time. I think I started when I was like 20, 19 or 20, using pre-workouts, and it was pretty easy going ones like this. And I would have loved something like LT, like 350. I would have saw this label and been like, holy shit, that's crazy. Like I remember thinking 300 when I had BPI's Pump HD back when the Pump HD was a caffeinated pump product. Um, it had flat 300. I thought that was absolutely insane. My sweet spot in my college years was probably 250 to maybe 300 on the upper end. So 350 with L-theanine. If you're looking at the target demographic group of a 20 to like late 20s, that would probably get the job done. But for me, someone with 3 kids and a fourth on the way that sleeps maybe 6 hours to 7 if I'm lucky a night, it could be a struggle. So to really get the get up, and I need every member I can. So I'm not gonna like knock it too much for having that in there, because I'm kind of looking how I'm getting in these guys' brains on who they're trying to target. And so overall, the caffeine does come nice. It comes in smooth. You're not gonna get like the urgency, the shot of adrenaline as much with that L-theanine offsetting it. And but also the lion's mane does add a little benefit, the nootropic action, just ever so slightly. It's kind of cool that they just put straight lion's mane, because I've never really like, just I feel like most of the times I have like a pre-workout that doesn't have the illicit stims in it. It's just like caffeine and then a whole kitchen sink of lion's mane, or like lion's mane and other nootropics. So it was kind of cool to feel it like on its own just with caffeine. So I did really enjoy that part about it. But the energy was smooth, not overwhelming, not over the top by any means. It was enough. It was enough to have a really productive workout. And it was one of those ones that kind of like left you feeling healthy afterward, because you're not so crazy stimmed out. And so that was another really cool benefit I liked of this one. It tapered off nicely. It just, the pickup wasn't quite what I would really enjoy. I'd kind of like to see, like for me in my like non illicit stim day pre-workout, I want to see like multiple phases of caffeine, no L-theanine. I mean, maybe even a gram of alpha yo. But sometimes I want to stay with alpha yo, and so this one's nice for that factor, that there's no alpha yo in this one as well. So it's just smooth. It's a good time. It's got just enough little pick me up for someone like me. And all in all, I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it a lot. It was very productive workouts. I wouldn't go with this one on like a heavy body part day. I'll probably do something that would have a little more pick me up to it. But other people could. I'm just saying from my personal experience and what I enjoy it for. This is a really awesome like plug and play for those days where I'm trying to stay away from those hard hitting uh, products. Like I also don't want, like sometimes it's like, okay, I got to do a driver day, but also probably don't want to use Alpha Yo. Also probably want to stay away from Junglins and Araya. There's days when you have situations like that, and I think my two are going to be like this possessed monkey and then Jack supplements jacked up. I don't have it; it's downstairs right now. I've been using that one regularly, especially in the mornings at like 1/4 scoop, just to give me a little caffeine kick. And I'll probably do the same with this one too because it tastes so damn good. This one and jacked up are both freaking delicious. But really good experience, very clean, very smooth. Not out of this world euphoric. It's not going to blow your head off. It's just enough caffeine that you're not going to be bummed out wishing you took something stronger. And overall, I'd score this one. Raw energy, I'll give it like a 6 or 7 out of 10. Tunnel vision focus, right around the same there. Pumps were really freaking awesome. I do want to stop and talk about that a little bit. So the pumps on this one were simple and to the point and absolutely everything I want. Just 8 grams of pure citrulline. That is a shit ton for pure citrulline. I mean, we've seen it up to 10, but man, I think you can do just fine with 8 to 6 to 8. So the fact we're getting 8 there is awesome. And then agmatine sulfate at a whole gram. Yeah, just it's simple, bit effective. And so the pumps were really damn good. I biked on my biceps, triceps separately. So I tried them each on this one, and just absolutely savage pumps, as you can see in the thumbnail I used for this one. Um, I always try to, like, if I have the product on hand and I want to do a fun thumbnail and I want to show you guys, like, a lot of times, so if you guys ever see those thumbnails, a lot of times those are the days, 95% of the time, if I have time to do it, will be the days I use the product. So that's just like an action shot. Because I always remember thinking that was really cool. I remember Two Different Fitness Deals News one time had like a shot of like his forearms for like talking about how vascular a product was, and I was like, oh sweet, that's really cool. Like I can actually see that he's a lot more vascular than he usually is on the product. So the pumps were really freaking good on this one. I'll give this thing a 10 out of 10 pumps. Like, for a daily driver, this has everything in it I would really want pumps. Absolutely loved it. 10 out of 10 on flavor too. It's just the only things that you kind of get what you take with the label. It gives you everything it claims. It's just with this not being a like Stim junkie dailies I would consider would be like Symbiote, NutriFit. I would say like 6 by Kilo Labs, and Omni Energy as well, another Stim junkie daily. And kind of a borderline one would be that Carnage by NutriFit. I would call that probably more on the daily side, to be honest. I mean, yeah, that's probably who we go with there. And then that Jack Stuff is another daily. I'll probably say those 3 would be in it, between Carnage, Possessed Monkey, and then Jack's by Jack's Nutrition, Jacked Up. That's kind of where your class is there. But this is that one for the smoother hitting days, and I really enjoyed it. Awesome, good job, guys. Freaking taste was amazing too. 11 out of 10 on taste. Got to be one of the best tasting ones I've tried on the channel. I mentioned that when I did Jacked Up, and this is now right there. They're literally, I'm not gonna say 1A, 1B. They're 1 and 1. Like, they're just that damn good. One's a tropical flavor. This one's a refreshing flavor. Both could be argued either way, I guess. Fuck it, but they're just damn good. But all in all, like, subscribe, check out Possessed Monkey, pick it up at Suplocker. A shout out to you guys grinding in college. Hope you guys come out. You guys need to do a limited edition Stim Junkie-esque one. Maybe kind of delve into the Alpha Yo Tumino arena for your special edition one. But I'm not trying to tempt anyone. If you guys want to keep doing it the FDA compliant way, I'm all for it. So good shit, man. All right, we'll catch you guys on the next one.